In this episode, we are going to learn the 31st strategy. The name of the strategy is the beauty trap. Use seductive women to corrupt the enemy. Welcome to subscribe to the 36 Stratagems channel, comment or send us an email and you will get an ebook about 36 stratagems on sale. To use a beautiful woman to deceive the enemy, enticing them to indulge in pleasure and lose their will to fight. After King Gojun of the Wu Kingdom was captured, he behaved submissively and flattered King Fuchai of Wu in every possible way, gaining his trust and eventually being released back to the Wu Kingdom. To demonstrate his loyalty, Gojun selected 2 exceptionally beautiful women and presented them to Fuchai. He also offered rare and valuable jewels to the King of Wu every year. Fuchai believed that Gojun had fully submitted, and thus had no suspicions whatsoever. Fuchai spent his days drinking and reveling with the beauties, completely ignoring the advice of his ministers. Later, Fuchai became increasingly infatuated with the women, neglecting his duties and affairs of state. Gojun saw this and rejoiced in his heart. Eventually, the Wu Kingdom took advantage of the situation and successfully annihilated the state of Wu, forcing Fuchai to commit suicide. When the king of the Jin's kingdom was preparing to conquer other countries, he first sent people to offer well-crafted knives and beautiful jade to the rulers of those countries. He also sent young and attractive singers and dancers to captivate the will of the enemy kings, causing them to neglect the governance of their kingdoms and relax their guard against the Jin's kingdom. As a result, the Jin's kingdom ultimately destroyed those states. The so-called beauty trap is a stratagem that involves using beautiful women to deal with enemies. The desire for beauty is inherent in human nature, and some people become infatuated with it. Some are willing to sacrifice wealth, status, and even morals, laws, and principles in order to obtain beauty. The use of beautiful women in military stratagem has long been utilized as an important tactic for defeating enemies. The purpose of the beauty trap is to demoralize the enemy and sap their determination. However, the beautiful women used in this stratagem are just auxiliary means to achieve military objectives. When facing obstacles or difficulties, it is necessary to eliminate those who pose a hindrance, win over and corrupt the enemy, and turn them to one's advantage. It is not effective for everyone and only works on the weak-willed. The success of the tactic depends on its acceptance by the target. The beautiful women are merely external factors, their effectiveness relies on internal factors. Send your enemy beautiful women to cause discord within his camp. This stratagem can work on 3 levels. First, the ruler becomes so enamored with the beauty that he neglects his duties and allows his vigilance to wane. Second, other males at court will begin to display aggressive behavior that inflames minor differences, hindering cooperation and destroying morale. Third, other females at court, motivated by jealousy and envy, begin to plot intrigues, further exacerbating the situation. For enemies whom it is difficult to conquer through military operations, one should use sugar-coated bullets to first defeat the enemy commanders mentally and destroy their fighting spirit, and then proceed with the attack. For powerful enemies, it is necessary to subdue their commanders. For cunning commanders, efforts should be made to corrode their loyalty by launching emotional attacks and softening their stance. People often say, heroes cannot resist the allure of a beautiful woman. They also say, since ancient times, heroes have been fond of beauty. Without this fondness, one cannot be a hero. Even heroes can be conquered and captivated by a beautiful woman, which demonstrates the immense power and appeal of beauty. Thus, the use of beauty to deal with others, pursue interests, or achieve desires has continuously been employed, giving rise to various lively and vivid strategies known as beauty traps. Beauty possesses more power than any weaponry. The use of force generates hatred and resistance, while beauty can erode the willpower of enemies, sap their physical strength, and provoke internal contradictions. With a flicker of seductive eyes, a graceful twist of the waist, or a gentle display of affection, even the strongest enemy is bound to crumble. In diplomacy, beauty also holds significant leverage, surpassing armed confrontation and political threats. In domestic governance, the beauty trap is also highly effective. Emperors often use it to strengthen their rule. Emperors' daughters never have trouble finding marriage partners, but in reality, there are specific criteria for their marriage. Attracting talented individuals is a form of marriage that continuously buys hearts and recruits talents, while marrying the descendants of influential ministers is another form of marriage that consolidates the unity of the ruling group. If the emperor's biological daughters are all married off, there are always adoptive daughters available. The subjects also understand the importance of beauty. Thus, they offer their daughters to emperors and even high-ranking officials and nobles, sometimes even offering their wives. If their wives and daughters are not attractive, they can be replaced with beautiful ones. Consequently, they win the favor of the emperor, who rewards the officials' titles, land, or allows them to assert power over the country. This situation is commonly referred to as connections through women's relationships. This stratagem should not be limited to understanding beauty as a mere medium for deception. Means, items, and interests that can mislead others, trapping them in indulgence and abandoning principles can also be considered alternative forms of the beauty trap. In the next episode, we will start the 30-second strategy. If you want to listen, please subscribe to this channel and you won't get lost.